Well, it's official, guys. We've accomplished and finished Netflix.
What?
So thank you very much.
All of it?
Thank you very much. Yeah, no, I watch a lot of TV.
No, that's impossible.
No, it isn't. It's done.
You've come to the end of Netflix.
We've come to the end of Netflix.
Oh,
Congratulations.
my God.
Yeah, no, it's a huge accomplishment. It's a lot. But yeah, we're in a zone right now where me and my wife are doing the thing almost every night of what should we watch?
Oh.
We don't have a show. We've watched.
Oh, man.
We've watched all of
She
True
watched
Crime.
Tires.
Literally all of True Crime.
Oh,
yes.
again.
Thor is pushing
One of the
tires.
funnier shows
I
I've seen in a long
might
time.
watch it because I have nothing left.
It's really funny.
But I'm not a big comedy guy as far as like at night for some reason.
Really? That's when I watch comedies.
Well, all we watch is True Crime.
Yeah.
You know what's a funny show too? New Girl.
I'll never watch that.
It's a really funny
I'll
show.
never watch it.
What about Tulsa King?
It's a really funny show.
I'm not gonna watch Tulsa.
Why? It's good. Look at its Rotten Tomatoes score.
You're a Rotten Tomato.
I'm not.
Wait, what?
Good show.
Okay, so there are shows out there apparently that I could watch.
Yeah, but you're
that
not.
I'm just not into it.
Okay.
And so we ran into a little bit of a situation yesterday where, again, we had about an hour before The Bachelor started. Don't get me started. And so we had something. We needed to watch something, and there's nothing. We got nothing left.
Nothing's in there.
Nothing was really striking our fancy.
Yeah.
So I made a wild suggestion, something that I've never done before. I said I would be willing to rewatch a show that I've already seen. Deborah hasn't. And she's always sort of been interested in seeing it,
Yeah.
but I've already watched it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know me, I don't ever go back and watch shows that I've already seen.
You don't.
But after I was thinking about it, I went, this one particular show, I think I could watch again. And I am referring to Game of Thrones.
Oh.
But after the first episode,
Yeah.
it may be over.
We ain't done yet. It's time for the P1 podcast.
Fun's not over yet.
Completely uncensored and unfiltered, except for that part.
Looking for the after party with it going.
The show's after show starts now.
So Game of Thrones is one of my favorite shows of all time.
Yeah.
It's awesome. But, I've seen it. I've seen it.
Yeah.
So do I need to watch it again? I probably wouldn't normally. Now, that being said, there is a show called House of Dragons, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's sort of, they say it's a prequel, but I mean, it's like thousands of years before Game of Thrones takes place.
Oh.
So it helps if you watch Game of Thrones because there's a lot to do with like different families and things like that. And they reference some things that happen in Game of Thrones.
Oh.
But it can sort of be a standalone. And so Deborah did watch House of the Dragons with me.
Oh.
And so every once in a while I'll pause and be like, hey, this is from Game of Thrones. And,
Means
it may explain it something,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But it really didn't matter that much. It's kind of a standalone
Yeah.
show. But I've always, talked to her about it. Like, I think you'd really like Game of Thrones. If you like House of Dragons, you'd probably like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Like, of course you would. Game of Thrones is better. And so she's like, yeah, that's great, but you've already seen it. And I'm like, you're right. I don't know. And I don't really go back and watch other shows, the old shows that I've already seen.
No, in fact, you give, some of us in the room hard times when we...
You literally watched The OC and then like a month later went back and started watching it again.
I did.
That's insane
I did.
to me.
I did.
Like, there's no break? No break?
There was a break to...
It's like a month.
There was a break to watch Gossip Girl.
It was like a month.
Gossip
There was
Girl.
a break to watch Gossip Girl, but I
How
am
old are you?
deep in the paint with the OC for the second time around right now.
Yeah.
And I do that with Sex and the City as well. There's a couple other
How many
things.
times have you
Wow.
watched the series Sex and the City?
Oh, geez.
All the way through from start to finish. I'm almost done with it right now, but probably...
Emily watches like 50 shows at once. It's the craziest thing. And she never
Yeah.
really finishes anything.
Well, the Sex
I
and the City
finished,
thing,
like,
I don't
yeah.
understand. Like, I get it. Okay, you watched it, you really loved it, and then maybe watch it again, but continually watch. You already know what's going
But
to
on
happen.
a show like on a show like that, like we watch New Girl or any of those kind of shows, we watch it randomly. Like, I don't watch it all the way through. We just watch random episodes. You don't watch like
Which
it's
like-
wild that you watch like Sex and the City all the way through
I'll
again.
do that
That's
with
wild.
like The Office or
Yeah.
Seinfeld.
That's what-
Like,
that's-
those
Yeah.
I'll watch on repeat.
Yeah.
But that's not like
That's
watching
the kind of
series
stuff
again.
we do.
Yeah.
Like Sex and the City, you watch
Start
episode
to finish.
1 and you go in order.
Start to finish.
It's like
That's wild.
When I'm getting ready my closet or doing my hair and stuff,
we
I
go.
have it on my
Here
phone
we
and
go.
it's just
These
sits
are your
there.
friends.
I mean, they're not my friends. I just like I
Are
have
you
to have
a
background
Samantha?
noise. We all know him, the Samantha. Come on, we all know that.
We all
We all know
know.
that. So it's kind of like a background thing, but still,
love it.
You've given me many a hard times about watching.
But
shows.
how many times have you watched it?
Oh.
Honestly, probably like 15 times. from
That's
start to finish.
insane.
It is.
That's insane.
It is.
Like,
It
you
is.
don't you don't get bored of it?
I would get bored of it if I was paying like glued to it. But
Okay.
like I'm saying, like I'm kind of doing other things when it's on, so it's just kind of is my happy place.
I love to discover new things.
Oh,
Look at this
Okay,
guy.
that's my
Mr.
thing.
Adventurer.
That's
Yes,
you.
and so that's what we do with our TV watching. Is
Yeah.
we'll
New stuff.
we'll watch new stuff.
Yeah.
That's how I roll. And so it is very rare. Never happened before where I said, "All right, I'll watch." In a series like Game of Thrones, I think there was 8 seasons.
I was just gonna
Oh.
ask
So
how many.
There's a
Wow.
lot.
Okay.
And so to watch that from start to finish again, I've never even
That's a
tried to do that.
commitment, yeah.
And it is a commitment. But I love the series so much, and it's been a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's been at least 10 years, right? Since
Oh.
Game of Thrones. I'm trying to think.
Since it
It's
first
been a
came.
long time
Yeah.
since it aired.
Yeah.
So, especially season 1.
Yeah.
I don't even remember when that started. And so it's been a long enough time where I'm like, yeah, I can probably rewatch this and be okay. So last night we were there. What do we want to watch? I don't know. What do you want to watch? I don't know. I go, what about Game of Thrones? And she's all in.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's kind of cool. And then we'd have that thing together.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, all right, cool. You know what? Let's do it. For the first time ever, I'm going to rewatch this.
Wow.
So go on, put on Max, put it on, watching the first episode. And immediately I'm like, holy shit, I don't remember any of this.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember anything.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, something would happen. I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember that guy. Oh, yeah, I remember that. But, like, really, there's stuff that's happening, big things that are happening that I don't recall at all.
See, it's crazy you say that because I've been toying with the idea of starting Lost from the beginning and rewatching Lost, but I'm like, I've already seen it. I know all the spoilers. Like I know about the hatch and the numbers and stuff, but then I go, no, you don't, stoner. Like, you know how much shit you probably
Such a
forgot
stoner.
that'll
Yeah,
like
bro.
No, you don't, stoner.
that like
Yeah,
will
bruh.
shock you and like you'll be like, oh my god, yeah.
No,
that
you know
happened.
what? Honestly, I could probably go back and rewatch Lost.
Yeah.
Because I enjoyed it so much.
And there's so much going on.
Yeah, and it's just good.
yeah.
You don't have to be surprised.
Yeah.
You know, like I know a lot of stuff that's coming up in Game of Thrones. Obviously, we talk like the Red Wedding and all this crazy stuff that happens. I know it's coming, but who cares?
Still.
It's still good.
Awesome,
And
yeah.
I kind of want to see her reaction
Oh.
to some of this stuff.
Yeah.
So that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, I get that.
So I'm all in. Whatever. I'm sitting there. We're watching it, and then I kind of forgot. There's a lot of nudity in Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
A lot of nudity.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Like first
Full?
episode, yes,
Full frontal.
yes. The
Oh,
first.
Emily's in.
Oh yeah,
She's like,
what's
"What's
what's the name of the show again?
Like you're getting like dicks.
Yeah,
Why'd you say it like
that's a
that?
weird thing to say, but yes.
Full on dick.
That's what's on the front, Emily.
full-on
That's
dick on
what's
the screen.
That's where the front is.
I don't know what.
The dick's not on the back.
Vaginas.
You want me to draw you? a picture?
Vaginas.
Yes.
And
They show a vagina.
Well, they're not showing the inside. I mean, I don't know what you want me to
She's
say.
not getting her pap.
You got a little
Her
bush.
pap.
Yeah.
You got a little bush.
naked chick walk.
Wait,
Wow.
they're showing one getting railed? This is wild.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
There's a lot of
insane.
sex and nudity in Game of Thrones.
I thought it was just a
The
titty
first
hair.
episode, Khaleesi, Amelia Clark,
Oh.
fully naked,
Oh, hello.
and there's some weird stuff with her brother
What?
that goes on, and you're like, ooh, that's hits weird,
Oh.
and so there's some nudity going on with her, fully frontal
Wow.
Bush?
of her, bush,
Yeah, you
Ass.
would think back then, right?
tetas,
Oh yeah.
tetas,
They didn't keep it clean down there.
Tall.
Did she have ass hair too?
no,
would think so,
it was
right?
nice and clear.
Okay.
You know, I was watching a.
What?
I think speaking of genital hair, I was watching Walking Dead the other day,
I can't.
and I started thinking, man, those chicks must be so hairy.
Oh,
Same thing on Game of Thrones, right?
What do you mean?
anyway.
And they don't, because they're not shaving.
They don't.
It's the end of the world.
They don't trim up.
And then I was thinking too, in
Trim
Game of
up.
Thrones, Walking Dead, like those kind of end of the world shows, what do the girls do when they're on their period? There's no more tampons.
Well, Game of Thrones is fantasy. It has nothing to do
Oh.
with the end of the world. But
Oh.
I'm sure there's other things you can do
they
for
must run out.
for tampons.
T-shirt?
Maybe.
T-shirt. I think they use like leaves and cotton. and
Well,
shit.
Leaves?
well, what did they do before they invented tampons?
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I have no
It's
idea.
like cotton wrapped in leaves, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Look into it. Google it.
Did you
You
really
shove
know
a
about
stick
the
up there or something. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like back in the day. Like
What else would you do?
Sky's so full of shit right now. She doesn't really know this.
I do. I like learned
She's
it in
got
some
me. I think
bullshit
she knows
When
what
it
she's
was
talking
when it
about.
was fall on the East Coast, they were really happy.
Look at how confident she is.
Why
I'm
is she
pretty
so
confident.
confident
I'm
She
in
pretty
this?
confident.
she did a whole dissertation on
Yeah.
tampons and periods.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
cave
I believe
people
that.
or some
I believe
shit.
that.
What
yeah.
the hell are you talking about?
Cave women.
They'd shove
tampons.
raccoons up there. It's no big deal. Whatever.
Yeah,
I
whatever.
feel
you
like
got?
there's a little more
Yeah, come on.
bacteria
No,
involved in
that's
that.
fine.
No, a raccoon.
You cut off a
Okay.
tail and shove it up there.
Come on, bro.
It's great. Wash it off and reusable. Yeah, save the planet.
That's it. There's dirt.
Yeah,
Come on, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Okay. Shut up.
Mud clumps?
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Okay. I feel like those are weird thoughts to have, Thor.
Throw a rock in there?
Yeah, I'm getting real with these shows.
Oh,
Yeah, I can see
you're
that.
making it
Getting real.
real.
Well, you should just have some fun. Just watch
getting real.
watch
not
something
not
new.
real.
Yeah.
There's not really zombies. So yes, there's a lot of nudity. There's sex.
Oh.
You know, the first episode she gets railed by
Really?
Jason Momoa.
Oh.
And which, by the way, the first thing my wife Deborah asked me is Jason Momoa's in this, right? And I went,
What the hell?
what the fuck kind of question is that?
Oh,
Hell yeah,
she
Deborah.
She
Yes.
wanted to know what she was signing up
What
for.
the fuck kind of question is that?
She's
But
like, and the
whatever.
dicks are on the front, right?
dicks.
Yeah, dicks.
Do you see dick?
Dick?
Do you see dick? Dick, like flopping around dick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Emily.
Hey, I wanted to know.
Okay. So I'm remembering all these things. Like, oh, this is flooding back to me.
Yeah.
There is going to be some crazy stuff, and I know what's about to happen. There's one very famous thing that happens in the very first episode of Game of Thrones that everybody talked about at the time because it was kind of unheard of, shocking. All that spoiler alert if nobody's seen Game of Thrones. That can be break
whatever.
at this point. At the very end of the episode of Game of Thrones, you see Cersei, who is the evil queen and very major character, especially further on. She's caught by one of the little boys having sex with her brother, who it's very shocking.
Oh,
Yeah.
Very shocking.
God.
Yeah,
Jamie
that's
Lannister.
that's gross.
He's having sex with his sister.
He shouldn't do that.
Yes,
They-
and
they
it's
shouldn't.
shocking, and you're just like, "Oh my god, what's going on?" And it's crazy, and that's how and then the episode ends with Jamie pushing the little boy out the window.
Leave him alone.
Yes,
Fuck.
like he's doing
Murdering
it
him?
for her.
Yeah.
You know, to protect her.
Yeah.
You know, because if she gets found out,
Yeah.
they're having an affair
Uh-huh.
with her brother. Obviously, that wouldn't go over well with the public. So shocking moment. You know, and I kind of
so
I'm like,
gross.
oh, I want to see her reaction.
You knew it's coming.
Because this is how the series is going to begin. It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
And so I turn to look at her when I see the big moment happen, the big reveal.
Yeah.
And she turns to me and gives me a look like, what the fuck? Like looking at me like I'm a
Like you're-
disgusting piece
Yeah,
of
like
shit.
you were into it.
Like
Yeah.
like
that's why you're watching the
Like
show.
I'm watching porn here.
Yeah.
This is
And
the type
it's,
of porn you're into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm into incest porn.
That's you.
know,
You're the
like
incest guy.
You're like easy, Deborah. This would be stepmother,
Yeah, thank you.
stepson thing
Thank
if,
you.
if this was
Thank-
real.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you. And
You're
it's
not
not
a sicko.
It's
Yeah.
not, I don't have my dick out. I'm not beaten off watching Game of Thrones.
Come on, bro.
I'm just like it's a crazy moment. I'm not into this.
Yeah.
But it was like, this is what you wanted me to watch? You piece of shit. This she didn't say any of this.
Yeah.
It's the look.
It's the look.
It was the vibe in the
Yeah.
room.
Yeah.
Is she
And it's-
over it now?
Well, that's the thing. I go, it's so crazy. Obviously, the more you watch, the more the story's explained. It's very shocking. It's very off-putting, obviously.
Yeah.
But there's so much more that goes. I mean, it's 8 seasons.
Yeah.
Okay, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the way she looked at me was like, "Oh, this is what you're into."
Yeah.
Like, no, thank you.
No, thank
No,
you.
thank
I get
you. And
this.
why am I married to you?
You get this.
Excuse me.
Yes, I get
You know
this.
that.
do you mean?
If she was sitting there at the boo, this is exactly how Sky would
What?
act.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of shows do you think the Boo suggests to me that we should watch?
Heavy
and,
Hotties?
And I don't know if that's a show, but if it was, he would watch every episode.
My 600-pound life.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
No.
They're eating and everything.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So he
They got
like
fat crevices.
no. So he keeps bringing up over and over again that we should watch Wolf of Wall Street. I know why you fucking want to watch Wolf of Wall Street.
I mean, it's
Why?
a great movie.
It's a great movie.
Oh, okay.
I've seen it. I've seen it a
Jamie's
couple of times,
in
and
the
I know
corner.
most of the
You
lines.
seen
And I've
it?
only seen it a couple of times.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
You've
It's
seen
It's
it,
a
and
great
you-
movie. A little
It's-
long, but it's a great movie.
Wild.
And you've seen Margot Robbie completely
There's one scene.
fucking naked.
But
yeah.
why would you care?
Yeah, and why would
You've seen nudity before.
And he's
No,
seen
I know.
Margot Robbie naked. I'm sure. He's
what
Googled
is it about that
So,
that
like,
you think is like?
Why would he?
Well, like, I
crazy.
don't think he wants me to watch it because it's like an Oscar-worthy movie that I need to see. I believe he wants to enjoy Margot Robbie naked again.
You don't think you can do that anytime.
That's what I'm saying. He could do that
Without you.
anytime he wants.
He can, but he doesn't. You know what I mean?
99% of the movie has nothing to do with that.
I know, but I
The one scene where Margot Robbie's nude,
Yeah.
you think that's why he
Game-
wants to watch it with you?
probably 90% of Game of Thrones doesn't have to do with incest, but all it takes is that one
Also-
scene for your wife to fucking snap her head around and be like, I see what you're fucking up to.
But why would I want to have my
Yeah.
wife think that about me?
I mean, you don't want her to
Right.
think that, but I believe in our mind, we think, oh, you're so fucking sly. We're not going to know that you just want to watch
I
it because you're a
suggested
pervert.
it.
Because you're a pervert.
I'm
You're a
sitting
pervert.
with you. I suggested
You're a
it
pervert.
to
and
watch
we,
with you.
we all know it. We
Yeah.
all know it.
I'll just go watch it on Pornhub if I really want to
Yeah.
watch
Hey,
it.
it'll be better.
Yes.
It's on Pornhub?
I'll do it right now.
Okay, what?